Earlier today we were able to sit down with Arshya Vahabzadeh. Well, first of all, thank you.
Thank you.
For taking the time to come talk to us today.
My pleasure.
Appreciate that. What are some of the highlights been for you of this year's great conference?
Well, I'm extremely excited to be here in the great American city of San Francisco. We've had such a phenomenal range of speakers. Bill Clinton's talk really emphasizing the need for mental health care, alongside a whole range of Nobel laureates, expert researchers, but also people in the community who are really making a difference for patients and their families. So we've had research right across the conditions, right across different institutions, and it's been a really amazing, enriching experience.
It has been an enriching experience, hasn't it? And there's been a lot of content there.
Absolutely.
This year.
Absolutely.
We've had DSM-5.
Absolutely.
And President Clinton, as you say, and Congressman Kennedy. And one of the issues that they've all talked about is stigma
Right.
and mental health. How
Right.
do you see that? Is that a big issue for you?
I think that stigma is one of the most important issues when we look at mental health. Stigma not only affects patients, it affects their families, affects our community, and it's a major barrier to delivering the mental health care that our country needs. I think that there are so many things that we have to be proactive and work alongside our partner organizations like NAMI, for example, and really try and work against this enormous stigma on television in our communities when people are trying to find employment or gain education. And I think we're starting to see some of the fruits of our labor.
What can APA members do about that? I mean, we've bandied these terms
Right.
around a lot, but
Right.
what can members do?
I think being involved in your community is tremendously important, and really getting the word out to the patients that you see, to be proactive, to go after job opportunities, to go after educational opportunities, and really it's keep hammering away at it, because the stigma, it's for all of us to fight. The war against stigma and mental illness, we may be on different fronts, but we're all fighting the same war. And I think that's an incredibly strong message that we need to send to all our partners.
Let's take that to let's move that on a little bit. Talk about stigma in social media.
So one of my interests has been looking at social media, things like YouTube, for example, and how they portray psychiatry, how they portray mental health conditions, how they portray psychotherapy and psychiatric medicines. And my latest research is really shocking in terms of how negative and stigmatizing that content is. And my worry is that this is going to affect our patients.
Social media is very influencing.
Absolutely.
A lot of people get a lot of information and their
Absolutely.
viewpoint from social media. So it's important to do something about this.
Absolutely. I think that the effects of social media are pervasive throughout society. Everyone is accessing social media, our patients, their families, clinicians, nurses, allied healthcare professionals. And I think that we really have to put our message out, and the message out of people who have benefited and had their improved their mental health. And I think that at the moment that message is still not quite there, and we need to really impress upon that to send that positive message out.
Thank you ever so much indeed for joining
Fantastic.
us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. A pleasure.